All right, let's try again. Hold on. Okay. Hey, team. You guys have been working really hard the last few months. I know today has been a really hard. It's here! It's here! It worked! It worked! Let's go! I told you, I'm Tomislav. I am Tomislav. I am the owner, co-director of Scum. Let's fucking go, baby! Woo! I mean, I was in the early access thing, so maybe that would do it. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go over this, guys, because it's fucking 22 goddamn pages of fucking Steam patch notes. Thank God I fucking got some water here. Jesus Christ, beta. Everyone's 4.4? Okay. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you, guys. Scum. Hellriders Update 0.6. Hello, everyone. Bet you didn't expect this so soon. Well, here it is. 0.6 has arrived, introducing the long-awaited Metabolism, Rework, bikes, and much more. So get ready, set, and empty your bowels before the road and go right into 0.6. PSA, there's a lot of information here. In fact, so much information that we had to put something in the picture mode since Steam can't handle us. There will be bug fixes and quality of life missing on this post, but will be listed on the next update. Damn, that's a big-ass patch. God damn. Metabolism. Finally, it is here. Metabolism has been worked on and improved by a large margin. This was an incredible undertaking and it is still not over. It is a lot to take in, so read very carefully to make sure you have your character as much optimized as possible out there. Keep in mind, this is the first iteration of Metabolism implemented, and more will be upcoming updates. Also keep in mind, we tried our best to keep the things as they were, but the new Metabolism is such a change that a mandatory wipe will be conducted. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. There is a dev wipe across all the lands and the seas, all the servers, private and public. A full developer wipe is happening right now as we speak. I am very excited about this, guys. And also, if you guys are looking for official server experience, come join us on New Jack City. That's my server. It's like vanilla, but just with admins and a dope ass community. So come join us in New Jack City. But every server is being wiped. Brand new, fresh, baby spanking new starts here. Where to even start? Well, let's start with the stats, now called core attributes. Core attributes work similar like they did before, but we went into much more detail. Strength. Strength is the physical power of a person, typically measured by how much you can push, pull, and lift a physical object. It is raised by proper protein intake, executing actions under a load. It is lowered by a protein deficiency, loss of muscle mass. It's influenced by carrying weight, melee damage, and calorie burning. Ranges from 1 to 8. Constitution. Constitution or body type defines everything connected with physical endurance and stamina. It is raised by moving in general, walking, running, swimming, etc. It is lowered by not moving, staying still for longer periods of time. It is influenced by health points, stamina, damage, and status, shock, poison, etc. Resistance, immune system, calorie, and water consumption efficiency. It ranges from 1 to 5. Dexterity. Dexterity determines how skillful you are in performing everyday and or complicated actions. It is raised by calorie deficiency, losing weight. It is lowered by calorie sufficiency, gaining weight. It influences movement speed and action speed, including crafting, eating, and reloading. This ranges from 1 to 5. Next core attribute is intelligence. Intelligence is the capability of perception and successfully performing tasks. Currently, it cannot be raised nor lowered. It influences squad size limit if you are the leader. It ranges from 1 to 5. Remember, this is the first thing that they're implementing all this. These things are going to be updated and upgraded, and new things are going to be coming to it soon. So just keep that in mind when reading these patch notes or listening. All right, so these are the core attributes for what they connect to each. Well, the skills of your character. These are familiar things, but let's revise them because it'll be quite important for what is to come. And get in chat. I'm going through all this. Thank you guys for the follows. I see you guys in chat. but I want to do this for you guys and for YouTube and all that fun stuff. So we got to go through all this over here. And maybe you guys don't like reading, so it's like an audio book, you know, you guys are welcome. Brawling. These are for strength. Brawling. Brawling is the skill of fighting man-to-man with fists. So instead of boxing skill, we have a brawling skill now. With fists, feet, and other body parts. It is raised by doing hand-to-hand damage to players and NPCs. It's influenced by hand-to-hand attack speed, available combo attacks, and blocking efficiency. Melee weapons. Melee weapons is a skill that enables you to use knives, axes, clubs, and other handheld weapons. It is raised by doing damage with melee weapons to players, NPCs, and base building elements. It's influenced by melee weapon attack speed, available combo attacks, and melee weapon damage. Archery. Archery is a skill that enables you to shoot with your bows and arrows. It is raised by doing damage with bow and arrow to players and NPCs. It influences by ability to use the bows of different poundage, faster reload time, faster draw time, hold time at full draw, faster bow tuning. Rifle skill. Rifling is a skill which indicates how familiar you are with rifles of any type, both firing them and maintaining them or fixing them. It is raised by shooting players and NPCs with rifles and crossbows. It influences by faster reload time, faster charge from position to position, readying/aiming, recoil, shooting accuracy with rifles. The last skill in the strength is handgun. Handgun skill indicates how familiar you are with the handgun of any type, both firing them and maintaining them or fixing them. And again, same thing like everything else, is raised by shooting NPCs or players, and its influences with the reload time to change speed from position to position, etc. Same thing as rifles. Constitution, which is another core attribute. Running skill. Running is a skill that shows how athletic you are and how proficient you are at running. It is raised by jogging or running. Its influences by jogging and running speed. Endurance. Endurance is a skill that enables you to withstand pain by conserving strength and energy. It is raised by moving in general, walking, jogging, running, swimming, etc. It influences higher endurance, which means less calories and water are needed for your body to function. A lot of people have always asked me, is endurance really important? Just put it all to running. But now you guys know what endurance really does, especially with this metabolism overhaul. So it is important. So you don't have to, waste less time on eating and drinking so much food for your character. Your endurance is kind of up there. Dexterity core attribute. Thievery, demolition, stealth, driving, and throwing. I know a lot of you guys know these things, but a lot of people may be new here. Thievery is a skill that determines how well you can pick locks. It is raised by lockpicking in general, both successfully and unsuccessfully. It influences time available per lockpicking attempt, level of pressure applied before lockpick breaks. Demolition is a skill that indicates how knowledgeable you are about the use of explosives. It is raised by arming and disarming explosive practice trap and adding triggers to explosives. It influences explosive diffuse time, diffuse attempts, quality of armed explosives, explosive damage, trigger radius, crafting recipes, unlocks. Stealth is a skill of moving cautiously, silently, and slowly to escape being seen. It is raised by moving while in crouch or prone position. It influences by sound produced while moving. There's a lot of talking. Driving. Driving is a skill that enables you to drive all ground and watercraft vehicles. It is raised by driving any kind of vehicle, including boats and paddles. Influences vehicle stalling frequency, maximal attainable speed, acceleration, and steering. Game Empires. I'm going to need a check after reading all this. Throwing. Throwing is a skill that enables you to throw various weapons and items with a certain efficiency. It is raised by doing damage to players and NPCs by throwing weapons and other items at them. It influences aiming, throwing accuracy, and throwing speed. Jesus. All right, hold on. Let me see if my update up. Okay, we're ready to go. I think our update is available. Intelligence. I think this is the last core attribute. It's awareness, camouflage, engineering, sniping, survival, and medical. Oh wait. Dexterity core attribute. Did they take out the motorcycle skill and just put it to driving? Intelligent core attribute. Awareness is a skill that enables you to notice or be aware of clues, items, camouflage, enemies, and other things. It is raised by looting various containers around the island, finding new items in your vicinity. It influences item finding probability, player detection range, flashbang, fade out speed, animal tracking, buried item detection range, focus mode, activation speed. Holy shit. Camouflage is a skill of self-disguise and making yourself invisible to others. It is raised by moving in bushes and staying in crouch or prone position while in a bush. Visibility to other players and NPCs. Engineering is a skill that enables you to build various base building constructions and craft various items. I am curious to see if they took out the motorcycling skill. It is raised by crafting, upgrading base building elements, refueling, charging vehicles, repairing base building elements and other items, and fixing vehicle tires. Engineering is really important, in my opinion. It influences number of materials needed for base building elements, crafting recipes, unlocks, repairing quality, charging, and fueling speed. Sniping. Sniping is a skill that indicates how well you aim through scopes and how knowledgeable you are about the wind speed and determining range. It is raised by shooting from weapons that have scopes attached on them. It influences range check speed, ability to hold breath. Survival. Survival is a skill that indicates how well you are able to survive in the wild. It is raised by crafting specific items and filling containers with water. It influences compass, complexity, crafting recipe unlocks. And the newest skill, medical. Medical skill indicates how proficient you are at treating injuries. It is raised by treating conditions and injuries. It influences stabilization time, number of required items for successful treatment. So I'm gonna go with saying medical. The new medical skill is very important. All right, there it is. Hope you're all caught up. Now let's get to the new stuff. Oh, Jesus. Metabolism rework. There are a lot of changes and new stuff, so the best way to explain it is step by step. And they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so let's get through it with the new UI. There it is, in all its glory. As you can see, we cleaned it up nicely, and it's much more pleasant for the eyes. Some new info, some old, but don't worry, we'll go through it all step by step. Core attributes and skills tabs. The upper section shows your core attributes and level progress. The lower part of your skill and progress, do keep in mind that there is still a cap on your skills depending on your appropriate core attributes. The pie shows your skill from shows your skill level from no skill, basic, medium to advanced to above advanced. Basic info. Here you will find the basic info for your character, from age limit, aka how much time has passed since you last respawned, weight of your character without any gear on, your current health, number of your teeth, and your blood type. There's also your blood volume and your body temperature, but more on that later. Performance data. You guys can see the red square in these pictures, right? So this is what I'm reading off to you guys. So, okay, here it is where those things get more complicated, so read carefully. This table is what you want to keep your eye on, so let's get through it. First up, we have the stamina bar, and the stamina units are in the short SU. Stamina units determine how much action you can do before you get fatigued. Max stamina is directly influenced by constitution attribute. The higher your con, the more stamina you can have. Stamina consumption and recovery are influenced by action difficulty, rates shown below. Action difficulty is a literal representation of how difficult it is to perform a certain action and can be seen in the HUD around the stamina circle bar. You see the arrow right next to the stamina? There's a new bar that goes around the stamina bar on your UI now. AD bar showed on the red arrow. All right, now the AD depends on multiple factors. Main thing would be how much gear you have on you. The more you carry on you, the more difficult it is to perform actions. Factors that also influence it are movement speed, moving uphill or downhill, difficulty of operating non-motorized vehicles, difficulty of action performed, drawing a bow, for example. The more strength the character has, the less do all these factors influence the AD parameter.
Here's the rest of my bitties. Enjoy.
Thank you, Dida, for the 309 bits. There's a lot, chat. Holy shit, bro. A lot of talking here, a lot of reading. I hope this is helping some of you guys out there. So right, we have explained the AD and what influences it. So you have the AD table and how it does apply to it. You can consider the contents of the table as a sort of levels. The table shows the SU consumption or gain through different actions. So if you rest or sit, you will gain SUs, but in full sprint, you rapidly lose them. Now the AD comes into place. Let's say you were standing around with no gear. That will count as a passive action. But let's say you have 20 kilograms of gear on you, it will increase AD and it will fall under effortlessly or tiring action depending on your character's strength. How much gear your character can carry without overloading itself is presented on the gear weight bar. Max gear is also influenced by the strength attribute. If you overload your character, you'll visually see it by the character being hunched over and also by having increased energy and water consumption. Jog speed shows how fast you can jog. It is directly influenced by the performance score and can also be increased or decreased with raising or lowering the running skill. Run speed shows how fast you can run. It is directly influenced by the performance score and can also be increased or decreased with raising or lowering the running skill. If you are overloaded, this is for energy. Your character requires more energy than it usually would. Energy penalty represents how much more energy will your character spend in kilocalories per hour. Water. If you are overloaded, your character requires more water than usual. Water penalties represent how much water your character will spend in kilocalories per hour. And I want to let you guys know something that I noticed in yesterday's beta 0.6 early access update that we got. A lot of the water wells in towns are not all full anymore. Think about that for a second. Think how important metabolism is now in that last sentence that I said to you about water. Now think about hitting 2 towns and both those wells being 0% empty. And now you're on your way to your 3rd town and your water's at 10% and you're carrying a hiking backpack full with fucking shit that you just got from the fucking South Quarry. Yeah, whole different game now. Whole different missions that your mentality is like, yo, I need to find water. I'm going to die. I love it. Fucking love it. And last in the performance data stats, we have the performance indicators. Healing speed shows how fast your body is capable of stabilizing various conditions and injuries. It directly depends on the con attribute and AD. Blood recovery rate shows how fast you will recover blood compared to your normal blood recovery rate. It lose blood faster than you can recover it. You will potentially bleed out and die. Work in progress. Immune system determines how fast you will recover from various diseases and how likely you are to get a disease in the first place. That's also a work in progress. Performance score is a unit for action execution speed. It influences how fast you can run, walk, paddle, chop, etc. Performance score depends on 3 things: muscle mass, body fat, prisoner's weight load. The percentage is scaled from your current character, and your max performance score value can be decreased or increased by altering the 3 things mentioned above. Stealth factor shows your ability to remain hidden and unheard. If the stealth factor indicator falls, your ability to stay unnoticed falls. That's also a work in progress. Melee damage indicator shows how much melee damage you will do compared to the maximal damage you can do. For example, if you get a penalty on the strength attribute because you have the weakness condition, the melee damage indicator will fall. When you treat the weakness condition, it will return back to normal. Body stats, right here on the bottom left with the red square. Here you will find, Jesus Christ, here you will find all the details you need to balance your character. Protein, carbs, fat, minerals, vitamins, water, alcohol, bones, blood, intestines, skin, organs, fat, muscle, etc. So this is just your body stats here. I need to go. I'm not gonna read all the details. You guys know what these stats are. It's in all of us, right? IRL and in video games. So you guys know all that. Nutrition. So there's a new UI to the right now of the metabolism. Here you will see the nutritional values your character is currently digesting and processing. You got energy, you got water, you got macronutrient reserves, you got muscle, you got fat, you got vitamins, you got minerals, and you got digestion. Again, I'm not going to read all these details because 1, my throat's killing me. 2, pretty self-explanatory, right? And if you play this game before this update, you pretty much understand what's going on here, but it's a lot cleaner looking and a lot more simpler to understand on the UI. Medical rework. Okay, these are new things that we should be going over. All right, here it is, the moment you all been asking for. We have the medical system completely overhauled in much greater detail. From symptoms, bleeding to treating wounds, there is a lot to cover here. So we're going to explain it again step by step through the UI. In this picture, we have a perfect example of what you will encounter with the new medical system. From the top again, the Bcu Icu Monitor. Here you will see the basic info of your character's health performance. From heart rate, blood pressure, and oxygen levels to breathing rate and your body temperature. You see this on the top left. Body status. In this interactive tab, you will see an entire body x-ray with displayed injuries and symptoms. It also has 2 gauges showing your health and blood level. You can even click around different body parts to isolate which injury you wish to focus on. After you select the body part or injury, you can go to the treat tab. So you can zoom in on this, you could click on it, you could click on the left bicep, you could click on the organ, click on the head, and isolate whatever you want to treat if that's what you choose to do. The list on the body can show either symptoms or conditions. Conditions are all the nasty things that are affecting your body and that are treatable mostly. Symptoms are consequence of the conditions that still have that effect on your body and can only be treated through their condition. If you're wondering which are here, here is the list. You got energy deficiency, which is a condition. You got water deficiency, which is a condition. You got a bleeding injury, which is a condition. You got a bladder full, which is a condition. You got a colon full condition. Stomach full, stomach empty, knockout condition, choking, food repulsion, which is when you're eating raw food, which you can't do anymore. Hyperthermia, hypothermia, bleeding, which is a symptom, blurred vision, burping. You could burp now in game, by the way. Dizziness, Farting. Yes, you can fart in game. Feeling cold, feeling hot, hunger, thirst, need to urinate, need to take a dookie, stomach fullness, stomach growling, pain, unconsciousness, fatigue, weakness, breathing obstructed, and nausea. Again, there's a lot to read, and my throat's hurting, so you guys can see this. It's in the patch notes. And just kind of explains what everything does here when you're having any of these conditions or symptoms. Treating tab, which you can see right here, right? When you select the injury, you will find the treating tab / bar. With it on the center of the screen, you will have the option of choosing the items you want to use to treat from either inventory or vicinity. The bar itself shows you all the info about the treatment. The red bar is filling up and it shows the progress of bleeding. Depending on the injury, it can fill slower or faster. After the bar is filled, the wound will go from untreated to stabilization, and after it is stabilized, it will go to recovery. You can patch the wound up to send it immediately to stabilization by treating it. When you patch a wound, you will find up the white line out. You will fill up the white outline of the bar. Once the line is full, the wound is considered stabilized. So the more severe the wound, the more materials you need to stabilize it. Be careful though. If you have a wound that is still in stabilization mode and you keep doing difficult actions with your character like jumping or sprinting around, you can open your wound again and you'll need to be patched up again. That's fucking how you doing. So even though you stabilize an injury, you can't run around like a psychopath right after, depending on how severe the injury is. All right, time for some hot octane action. Motorcycles. Motorcycles are finally in. Time to buzz around left and right and be fast menace to the island. We got bikes, we got jumps, we got gear. What more can you ask for? Well, I'm sure you will think of something. Well, here they are. Look at these screenshots. Fuck yeah. There are 2 bikes currently in the game. The dirt bike and the Hellrider bike. You can find both on the island. Motorbikes are just as the rest of the wheeled motor vehicles, require both fuel and battery to run. Even though they are fast, agile, and adjusted for off-road, there is a trade-off. As you might imagine, the bikes are highly suspected to weapon damage, and the engine block can be disabled quite easily. So if you plan to raid with them, be fast and don't get hit. There is no space for inventory for the motorbike, so make those supply runs light. To operate the motorbikes, there is a skill added, the motorcycle skill. Works similar to driving skill, except for the motorbikes. Yeah, it's that simple. So there is a motorcycle skill. So beta, you messed up. That wasn't in the patch notes. Just saying. But what are the bikes without bike gear? Nothing. You must let everyone know you ride, otherwise it does not count. I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. Well, immediately on the topic of motorcycles and Hellriders, yes, we have added the trailer variant of the pickup as well. How you doing? Revolvers. Another highly requested feature. We're on the roll here. That it's time to roll around with a big iron on your hip. Not 1, but 4. That is right. 4 revolvers have dropped. 2 of them even have brand new ammo created for them. The 44 Magnum and the 38 Special, so go get that Texas Red. So we got 4 revolvers and we got some ammo for them. As for the malfunctions, where the revolvers are the old reliable. One possible malfunction is a bad round, but when that occurs, the revolver will just keep spinning on the next bullet. See, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Damage rework. All right, time for the big one that changed nothing yet everything. We have completely revamped the way damage is taken and being dealt in the game. Most of it's in the back end and you won't really notice it since we spent a lot of time tweaking it, so it remains the same. Yet some things are changed and there are more types of damage. There are more types of damage right now. We already covered those in the medical. So now you might encounter a weird thing here and they fell out of place. So make sure you leave feedback so we can adjust the best way possible. You might also be wondering why do it at all then? Well, it allows us a much greater control over damage and future medical consequences of weapons. One of the examples we have finally made for armor is the possibility to absorb melee damage. You will see a lot more soon. Alright, now let's get to the extras of the patch. New locations, wire placeholder. Motorbike track, which is in the Z3 sector, which I showcased to you guys yesterday when we got early access to it, which is really cool. You guys are going to love this. The train yard, which is pretty huge and is in between Z1 and Z2. I didn't get to really loot it too well because I'm pretty sure there's a mech guarding it. And then Nova Cello, which is on the Z4 island, which is really nice. And that's all from us for now. See you soon. I still have some characters left. F. Wow. I mean, I don't know. I like... Wow. That was a lot of patch notes. That was a lot of talking. Holy shit. You guys are going to love this, man. This patch is bringing survival to Scum. Like, don't let this Hellriders update picture fool you. It's fun. The motorcycles and new trucks are fun as fuck. But this patch is really about the survival back to Scum, man. And I couldn't be more excited about it.